All right, I apologize, guys. It looks like I cut out during our static stretching there. So keep finishing that up if you guys haven't. Keep going through that four-way stretch. Next up, we're gonna get into those mobility movements, starting off with our ankle mobility movements. All right, if you guys have an elevated step, you guys can get to that at this point. All right, if you don't, you guys can do this from the ground. All right, pretty much with this first movement that we're gonna do here, this is gonna be an isometric stretch of that top part of that ankle joint area. Okay, so we're gonna be working a little dorsiflexion here. All right, basically, the way to think about this, guys, this is gonna be that dorsiflex position. So basically, toe up is gonna be dorsiflex, and basically toe down is gonna be plantar flex. So here, we're gonna start off working that dorsiflexion, okay? Trying to increase that range of motion with that elevated step, okay? We're gonna do an iso hold here for about 30 seconds to a minute, okay? If you guys have really stiff knees, stiff ankles, all right, maybe go a little bit on the lighter side, about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, all right? And if you guys have really stiff knee pattern, so if it's really challenging to kind of move back and forth, flexing and extending with that knee, okay, really take your time easing into it, all right? And when you guys are doing this, focus on that path with the knee, okay? So when you're going down and stretching the ankle here, okay, make sure that knee is coming out in line with the toes, okay? Make sure that that knee is not collapsing in. Stay strong in the glute, okay? So get to that flexed position, all right, on that elevated surface. Like I said, if you have that available to you, okay? We're gonna stay in this dorsiflex position for, like I said, about 30 seconds to a minute, all right? If you're really tight, like I said, do a couple active dynamic movements going back and forth before you hold this position. And make sure here, guys, that we're keeping that heel attached to the ground here, okay? Don't let it elevate up. Switch sides, got 45 seconds on that first side. All right, we'll go ahead and do the same on that second leg here. Like I said, if you have tight knees, tight hips, tight ankles, work your way into this iso dorsiflex position. All right, even if you need to only hold for about 20 to 30 seconds, hold that position, you guys. That's gonna help strengthen that range of motion, okay? Right? It's gonna help you out so that way next time you're able to go a little bit longer, a little bit further in that range of motion without pain or discomfort. That's our first movement, all right? Like I said, that's more of just an iso position, okay? So not a lot of movement there, really just trying to statically hold and create that range of motion by keeping it in that fixed position, all right? So for that, you guys can usually just do about 1 to 3 sets, and you can do anywhere from 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, all the way to about a minute, minute and a half, depending on your comfortability. Okay. The second mobility movement that we're going to go into is going to be more focused on that plantar flexion. Okay, so kind of that down toe position. Okay, getting more of that calf involved. All right. Here we're going to be using a box. Right. Okay, or I'll be using a box here. Okay. You can't just do these standing. All right. But the next step, guys, we're going to do these seated single leg hops. Okay, so these seated single leg hops, this is going to be more of a dynamic mobility movement that you can use to, like I've been saying, help increase that range of motion in that ankle joint area, okay? It's also gonna help out with knee stability, okay? It's a plyometric exercise, so not only are you going to be strengthening the ankle joints here and strengthening the calves, you're also going to be strengthening the knee and the hips here as well, as it is a bit of a more dynamic movement, okay? So here, guys, all right, this will be what the movement looks like, right? Really focus here on setting those hips back, right? My step here is pretty high off the ground, but if you guys have one about parallel or hip height, all right, really sink down before you explode on up, okay? All right, so floating those hips back, sitting up, exploding up, all right, getting a little bit of a jump, and make sure we're getting that full extension with that foot, okay? So here, guys, we're just gonna do 2 sets, 6 reps, but when you guys are doing these on your own, you can do about 1 to 3 sets of anywhere from like 4 to 10 reps per leg, okay? So let's get 6 reps per leg here, guys. Sit back, explode up. Once you guys get through 6 reps both ways, you can go ahead and take about 30 seconds off before you do your second set. All right, that's 1 set, guys. Take about 30 seconds off, like I said, and then we'll do another set of 6 reps there, okay? Really, like I said, guys, focus isn't necessarily on sitting back, okay? We're really just trying to stay in this position, loaded up, ready to go, okay? So that we're extending up, getting that single leg extension, okay? All right, so these 2 movements, guys, not only are they integrating that ankle mobility work, but as you can see, we're getting kind of everything involved. So knees, hips, they're all linked together, okay? So not only are we gonna be focused hitting one, but by doing this, you're gonna be getting everything involved as well, okay? So let's get 1 more set in, guys. All right, get 6 reps. Nice, guys. Okay. All right. Next up, our next 2 mobility movements are going to be more specifically focused towards the hips as opposed to the knee or the ankle. But like I said, we'll be getting them integrated in some shape or way, shape, or form as well. Okay. So the next movement we're going to do, guys, we're going to use the kettlebell here. Okay. With our kettlebell weight shift movement. All right. Here, guys, if you haven't done this before, we're basically going to be in this half kneel position. So 1 knee is going to be up, all right? To start off, you guys can, if you have tight hips, okay, if it's difficult for you to open up like so, you can start off toe about 45 degrees, or if you even need to have it a little bit more in front as well, that's fine too, okay? Start off at that comfortable position, right? That weight, that kettlebell, that dumbbell, it's going to be here in this inner pelvic area, all right? And here it's gonna be exactly like it sounds like with the movement. So we're gonna shift into that knee, loading it up. As we do that, we wanna stay strong in that opposite glute. You're basically gonna be punching through that hip, okay? And making sure that that core is upright, we're not falling down. We're staying nice and tight throughout. So here, guys, we're gonna be on a 5 by 5. So we're gonna do 5 shifts to one leg, okay? Each shift you do, I want you guys to hold that position for 5 seconds. So holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going back, resetting, going and doing your 5 reps, and then switching it in the other leg, okay? So let's get one set here, guys. 5 reps on one leg, 5-second hold per rep, okay? If you guys can, start off that 45-degree position and try to shift your leg back as it goes along, okay? So try to challenge yourself, try to open up as much as possible, try to get those hips going here, okay? Let's get 5 reps, 5-second hold. Once you guys get your 5 reps on one leg, like I said, let's switch it on over. Same thing on that other side. Start off that 45-degree and try to open up if you can. Shift. Make sure that knee path feels comfortable to you. Hold that for 5 seconds. And we're shifting back. Nice, guys. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Next up, the next movement we're going to do, once again, is going to be primarily focused on the hips. Alright, we're going to be doing, we are going to be doing, just have it on my brain. We're going to be doing hip cars, okay? So these articular rotations in the hips. Okay, we're going to be basically putting those hips through that range of motion that it goes on a day-to-day basis. So opening up here, all right, if you guys haven't done these hip cars, all right, you can grab onto something for a little bit of support, a little bit of balance. All right, when we're doing these, guys, make sure we're keeping these hips forward full time, okay? As we open up, we're going to try to drop or open up our hips. Try to keep everything forward, so if you need to, grab onto support, grab a base, grab something, okay? All right, but here, guys, the motion we're gonna do a knee up. All right, here we're gonna open the door with our knee. All right, when you're doing that, like I said, keep everything upright. Make sure as you float that knee away that you're not opening with it, okay? Here, we're gonna float that heel up to the sky and push back. And as we do, we're going to come back around, all right? Then here, we're just going to replicate that motion. So kicking back, opening up, keep everything forward, close the book, back to that starting position. All right, so that's going to be 1 rep, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's get about 5 reps per side here, okay? And let's do 2 sets total, all right? In general, if you guys are doing these on your own, you can do anywhere from about 1 to 4 sets, okay? And do anywhere from about 4 to 10 reps per side, okay? Take your time on these, guys. Really go through that full motion, all right? Good tempo throughout, all right? Control, keep everything forward. that other side, control. Okay, all right guys. Take about 30 seconds or so off here. All right, we're gonna go through one more set of that. All right, good tempo as you guys can see, okay? Really focusing on each movement, all right? Either going back with that leg, going forward, okay? The focus there, guys, make sure, especially on those turns, so as we're coming here, okay, flipping that leg up, we really don't want to shoot that hip up in the air as you're doing that, okay? Typically as that will happen, you'll be able to indicate some imbalances or some lack of strength, maybe on one side or the other, right? Muscular imbalances, that type of thing. So doing these types of movements, not only are they going to be beneficial in helping strengthen those muscles, increase the range of motion, but you'll also be able to identify a little bit more specifically if you're having issues on the left side, right side, or anything like that type of, like that, okay? So let's go ahead, guys, get through set 2 here. Once again, all right, 5 and 5 on the hip cars. All right, these circular articular rotations. All right. Switch it on over. Okay, alrighty guys, good work on that. All right, next up guys, we're gonna get into our more primary, knee dominant movements, okay? The next movement that we are going to go over is going to be lateral step up, or lateral step downs, I should say, off of the step, okay? So here guys, right, you can get your step set up if you don't have it already set up. Just about a foot or a foot and a half to 3 feet off the ground should work fine, okay? If you also have a lighter dumbbell, okay, you can grab that as well for some counterbalance. All right, but here guys, we're gonna be working on that knee path, that knee descent, all right, that you would do in a typical like squat, any type of squatting motion where you're gonna be bending your knees, we're gonna be going through that range of motion in a more specific range of that, okay? So as you guys can see, I'm only a foot and a half off the ground here, okay? These lateral step downs, we're gonna have our outside leg on that closest side here, okay? So basically you're gonna have 1 foot off, just like so, all right? Keep that other leg that's floating relatively straight. And basically what we're doing here, guys, we're replicating that squatting motion on that down leg. So here, I'm gonna be making sure that we're keeping my knee out. Okay, so as I go down, it's not coming in, staying nice and strong in the glute. Okay, if you have a weight, you guys can add that counterbalance by shooting that weight out as you go down. Okay, so really focus on that knee path, making sure it's staying out, and focus on the tempo, okay? In general, guys, you can do anywhere from 1 to 4 sets, okay, of about 5 to say 10 reps per leg, okay? Focus when you're doing this movement. You can turn it into more of a strengthening exercise where you're loading it up a little bit more, all right? But for our purposes, guys, keep it nice and light. Really just focus on either body weight or a lower height, all right? Here, we're just gonna do 2 sets, all right? We're gonna do 5 reps per side, okay? So start off with that low height like I have, and then as you guys get more comfortable, you guys can progress, increasing that height, increasing that range, increasing that resistance, all right? 5 reps here, guys, slow and controlled. Float back, keep that knee out. Good, once you get 5 on one side, switch it on over. Okay. All right, once you guys get 5 in on both sides, take about 30 seconds off here, all right? We'll do 1 more set of that, all right? Like I said, guys, on this movement, it's all about tempo, it's all about control, okay? It's all about technique, all right? Focus on that knee path, okay? Float that heel back, all right? You're really just trying to lightly touch it and come back up. You're really not trying to stay down there for too long, okay? Like I said, as you get more comfortable with it, you can raise that step up. Therefore, you're able to drop down a little bit farther, increase your range of motion in your knee, ankle area, okay, which is the goal, right? So start off, get the path down, get the technique down, and then you guys can raise it up, increase sets and reps and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get another set in here, guys, 5 each way. All right, you can add that weight for some counterbalance. Nice, guys. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Last thing we're gonna do here for our mobility work today is we're gonna do some body weight, deep squat, iso holds. All right. So here, guys, we're gonna wrap everything up one last time. All right. We're gonna do 6 deep squat holds. We're gonna do 20 seconds per squat hold at that bottom position, that bear in the woods position. So here, guys, all right, we're gonna go bear in the woods. So real deep squat, get in that comfortable stance, either shoulder width or maybe a little bit outside of that, all right? Each time we're going down, I really want you guys to focus on a quality squat, so shifting the hips back, sinking down, hit that parallel position, all right? And then you guys can drop just a little bit lower here, all right? Get those knees right, get that ankle right. You guys should feel it in those inner adductors, all right? Like I said, we'll do 6 sets of 20 here, and we'll take about 15 seconds or so off in between so we're not getting too overtly fatigued, okay? But here, guys, we're gonna increase that functional capacity, that functional range and muscular endurance throughout those muscles and throughout those joints, okay? So whenever you guys are doing squats, hopefully you'll be able to do a little bit longer, go a little bit heavier. Hopefully it feels a little bit smoother as you do these mobility movements, okay? So let's go ahead, guys. First one here. Sink down, get into that nice position, and we're holding here 20 seconds. All right, stay keeping those knees apart. Make sure those feet are flat on the ground here. Keep that chest up. Make sure we're not dropping down like this, okay? Should feel it in that lower body. Good. You guys can go ahead and stand up. Take about 10-15 seconds, shake it out real quick. All right, gonna hit that second squat here, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and sink down, good squat. Hold that position. Guys can elevate on up. All right, taking 10 seconds, 15 seconds off here, shake it out. All right, let's get 4 more in. All right, each time you guys do these, see if you can sink down a little bit lower. See if it gets a little bit easier. All right, let's sink down in 3, 2, 1, sink. Those feet are flat on the ground here. Chest up. Go ahead and stand on up. Shake it out. Let's get 3 more in here, guys. All right, last 3 sets here. All right, stay with good positioning. All right, make sure those knees aren't collapsing in. Keep that chest tall. Let's get this in 3, 2, 1, sink down. Go ahead and stand on up. All right, we got 2 more sets left to go here. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, sink down in 3, 2, 1, sink. Go ahead and stand on up. All right, we're gonna do another 15 seconds off here, guys. Then we got 1 more round left to go here, 1 more set of 20 seconds. All right, sink down one last time, guys. Let's get it here. In 3, 2, 1, let's sink. Hold that bottom position, guys. You guys can stand it on up. All right, good job, guys. So that kind of wraps up our mobility strengthening section. All right. Use those movements, use those exercises whenever you guys are looking to increase range of motion or just strengthen that lower body, okay? Above all else, guys, focus on technique, all right? Start off light. Make sure you guys are doing it right. Make sure you guys are feeling the way you should be feeling, okay? If it feels like, it's too much pain, anything like that, modify, adjust, get comfortable, and then see if you can push past that, okay? All right, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Next up, we're gonna finish up with a little bit of core work, all right? We're gonna have 4 exercises here, all right? We'll do 1 round, and all of it's gonna be timed, okay? So only equipment that we're gonna be using here, guys, like I was saying, is just a couple of weights, all right? So if you guys have about 2 to 4 weights accessible to you, all right, you can go ahead and just get them nearby, all right? First exercise that we are going to do actually though, guys, is going to be a feet elevated toe touch. So here, guys, we're going to be focused on that top part of the core getting contracted. Right, so here, starting position is just going to be feet up. All right, and here, like I said, we're focusing on getting that upper back off the ground. Okay, trying to touch those feet. Okay, to make this a little bit more challenging, if you guys want to add a weight or add an iso hold at the top, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult, okay? All right. First exercise here, guys. We're going to do this one for 40 seconds. Let's get it here in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Stop in 3, 2, 1, and stop. Whew. All right, guys, next up, we're gonna do a high plank position, move the weight. So here, guys, it's gonna be an assembly line format. So basically, I want you to get those 2 to 4 weights on one side of the body. All right, here, guys, like I said, high plank position. We're just gonna alternate bringing that weight across, so bring all those weights across, reset the hand, and then we're just moving them right on back, okay? While you guys are doing this, you're basically acting as a tripod, only on 3 limbs, so make sure you guys are keeping that butt nice and low, core tight throughout, okay? Don't want you guys shooting your hips up in the air, all right? High plank assembly line, guys, 45 seconds on the clock. Let's get this going here in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Stop it in 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, next up, guys, we're going to be on our back side here. Okay, so you can get those weights out of the way. All right, next up, we're going to do flutter kicks. All right, so here, guys, focused on that low part of the core. If you can, make sure we're keeping those legs straight. Okay, big leg kicks if we can. All right, if you're too tired or fatigued in the hips, that's fine, or the hip flexors, that's fine. Just try to keep those legs off the ground about 6 inches. Okay? All right, we got this for 30 seconds here. Flutter kicks. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Stop it in 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, all right, last thing we got today, guys. Rotate on over to that boat pose position. All right, get those weights to one side once again, those 2 to 4 weights. All right, next up, guys, last thing we got here is gonna be a Russian twist assembly line. Okay, so same thought process as the high plank, only here we're gonna be in that boat pose position. Okay, working on those obliques a little bit here. All right, so move those weights to one side, move them back, make sure you guys aren't throwing the weights. Okay, rotate with every movement. Last thing we got, guys, 40 seconds on the clock. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go, guys. Move those weights. One last time here. Stop it in 3, 2, 1, and stop. Woo! Okie dokie. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of core work in there to end class today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed class today. If you guys did, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, Facebook and YouTube if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate you guys taking the time watching these videos. Until next time, guys, take care. We'll see you in the next video.